Permanent Ink by Maxine on AO3. Chapter 5. Katsuki had spun on his heels and was halfway back to the door when Kaminari stopped him. "Whoa, hey, hold on, you don't have to run away," he said, sliding in front of the door and splaying himself against it, like that would really stop Katsuki if he truly wanted to get the fuck out of there. He was still laughing and looking entirely too amused. "Calm down, it's fine, it's not like I'm gonna say no." "Oh." Katsuki blinked. "What?" Like hello, Kaminari waved at Katsuki's everything, a sweeping gesture that was definitely meant to emphasize his entire body. "I'm not stupid. Who wouldn't say yes to that?" "For fuck's sakes," Katsuki grumbled, though he was weirdly sort of pleased. It made him want to puff his chest out, which was dumb as hell. Normally he only got like that when people were praising his fighting style. "I have some questions, though." Of course he did. Katsuki let out a sigh. "Fine, shoot." "It's more just one question, I guess. Two-parted." "Spill it out already." "All right." Kaminari took a deep breath. Katsuki shifted his weight from one foot to the other, feeling abruptly nervous for some reason. "Is this because you found out Midoriya's more experienced than you and you've got some weird macho need to stay on pace with him in every freaking department? Or do you just not want to look like you have no idea what you're doing when the whole soulmate thing comes out and you two end up in the sack?" The wait? End up in the... Wait, no. Nope. No. What the fuck? Katsuki's mental mainframe straight up crashed. Error. 404. Bakugo EXE has stopped working. Somehow he still hadn't thought about what being soulmates actually entailed. Every time his mind started to drift in that direction, he completely blanked. It was impossible. He couldn't even imagine. There was no way. He and Deku weren't like that. Neither of them were interested. Katsuki certainly wasn't, and Deku was fucking dating Uraraka, the little shit, so clearly nothing was going to happen between them as long as that was still a thing. And Katsuki didn't want it to happen anyways. "I don't want to kiss Deku," he exploded, voice high and straight-angled. And Kaminari quickly reached out to slap a hand over his mouth, slightly panicked. "Shh," he hissed, keeping a hand in place, as Katsuki had to jerk backwards. "Careful, Midoriya's room is right below mine." "Fucking... It's fine, Kaminari said. "He probably didn't hear that. Don't worry." Katsuki twisted away, and Kaminari let him this time, his hand falling to Katsuki's shoulder instead. "I wasn't worried," he snapped, which was a blatant lie. Kaminari sighed. "Of course you weren't, but it's okay, man. It's fine. I get it. You don't want to kiss him." Katsuki caught him rolling his eyes as he spoke, though as he's obviously didn't get it, but he wasn't going to argue with him. "Or do anything else," he added, because it seemed necessary, as if he would end up in a sack with that nerd. What the actual goddamn fuck? "Right, sure." Kaminari's thumb brushed over Katsuki's skin where the strap of his tank top was. "You still want to do this for reasons that I have absolutely nothing to do with Midoriya in any way, shape, or form." "Quit it," Katsuki said warningly, and Kaminari huffed. There was a sudden zap along his shoulders where Kaminari was touching him. Just the slightest shock of static electricity that Katsuki sucked in his breath. Kaminari gave him a look, eyebrows arched a bit, a playful curve in his mouth. "Geez, and they say I'm the dense one." "Whatever your reasons are, I don't care, all right? I'm telling you I don't mind, so do you want to or not?" "What? Like now?" Something in Katsuki's stomach flipped. Kaminari's fingers curled under the strap of his shirt this time, tugging just a bit. He was still leaning back against the door. "Up to you, Kachan. Guessing this is totally no strings attached, right?" It was the first time Katsuki wasn't too thrilled with him using that stupid cutesy nickname. He normally wouldn't really care. He didn't love it or anything, but he was used to it, and it just kind of whatever. But it felt weird in the situation. He didn't want to think about why. It didn't stop him from moving forward with Kaminari's tug, pausing an inch or two short from actually touching him. "Right," he said, voice rough in a way that had never been before. He swallowed. Kaminari grinned up at him. "Aw, you're nervous." "No. You want to die?" "Not really," Kaminari said cheerfully. "But seriously, relax. This shit's easy once you finally just do it." And then he was pressed forward, lifting his chin and placing his mouth against Katsuki's, and Katsuki momentarily forgot how to breathe. It didn't last long. Kaminari held himself in place for a few seconds, just a gentle press against his lips that Katsuki didn't really know what to do with. It was warm and not awful, maybe. Kaminari broke away with a hum, both of his hands on Katsuki's shoulders now. You could, kiss me back, dude. Ah, right. Katsuki just kind of stared at him blankly, which made Kaminari snort and lean back in to press another impossibly quick kiss to the mouth. He was there and gone before Katsuki could even register what was happening, which was kind of annoying, so he found himself chasing after him when he pulled back. Hang on, Kaminari said, tilting away from Katsuki's returning advances. He reached for one of Katsuki's hands and placed it on his waist. You can touch me, okay? I don't mind. Touching was not something Katsuki really did. It was always Kirishima or Kaminari who were throwing their arms around him, pushing up against him, getting in his face. Katsuki was always the one to shove his hands into his pockets and try to slouch away from them. You sure? He asked. Yeah, if we're gonna get you up to speed, we might as well have fun doing it. Katsuki flushed all over again and scowled, eyes dropping to where his hands were now pressed against Kaminari's side. He twisted his fingers into the material of the shirt he was wearing. You really okay with this? He muttered, forcing himself to ask to make sure. Are you kidding? Kaminari gave him an easy smile. Katsuki tried searching his expression for any sign that he was lying or hiding something beneath that bright grin, but he actually seemed genuine. Shit, I'm fucking honored you came to me, and it's not like I'm hooked up with anyone right now, so this works out for me too. Can never practice too much after all. Well, okay then. Kaminari seemed to take this silence as permission to proceed, and Katsuki was ready this time as he leaned in, only drawing in a sharp anticipation breath just before they connected. It was more instantaneous this time. Kaminari had his head tilted just slightly, mouth a little more parted as their lips slid together. It was wetter, something that sent a quick zing up Katsuki's spine and instantly had him wanting more. He found himself grasping Kaminari's hips with both hands, crawling him up against the door as Kaminari tugged his bottom lip between his teeth and just bit down just the slightest bit. Katsuki excelled in a rush, breaking away for a moment as his entire body flushed hot, but Kaminari didn't give him time to catch his breath. He squeezed Katsuki's shoulders and then curled his hands behind his neck and tugged him right back in. Thumbs stroked beneath his jaw as Kaminari kissed him again, his tongue peeping out this time, brushing Katsuki's lips. Katsuki went with it, unable to help, gasping a little, but this just gave Kaminari more room to press even closer. Their mouths sit together like a puzzle. Heat rose between them, and Katsuki left his body fall against Kaminari's chest, melting together, his arms winding around the other boy's waist. He was getting the hang of it, a thought that brought in with a wave of confidence as Kaminari slugged into him, lifting up on two toes just a little. He wasn't that much shorter than Katsuki, but it was enough that Katsuki found he really liked it. He was maybe more about the same height as Deku. Kaminari slid a hand up the back of Katsuki's neck onto his hair, gripping tight, which had his thoughts shattering to a wind as goosebumps broke out along his arms. He shuddered, some kind of stroke sound getting stuck in his throat, and Kaminari blushed their tongues together again in a move that turned his insides into molten lava. What the hell? Kissing had no business being this good. He could maybe understand why his classmates kept losing their damn minds over it. It was Kaminari who pulled back this time, panting lightly as he blinked, his eyes open to consider Katsuki. Not bad, figures you'd be a fast learner. Katsuki just grinned at him. Kaminari had a relaxed back against the door after ending the kiss, and Katsuki was still leaning against him, which meant they were just kind of standing there, wrapped around each other's bodies, pressed together, in an embarrassing, intimate way. He didn't like it. Like his hips were straight up, resting against Kaminari's, their crouches only separated by the intricate sweatpants and shorts, that it was oddly, weirdly okay. He gave Kaminari's waist a squeeze and leaned in to kiss him again, a brief chasing thing just because he could. Kaminari grinded up into it and patted his cheek when they broke apart. All right, big guy, he said. We can pick this up later. Katsuki arched his eyebrows. Yeah? Yeah, totally, but right now I need you to help me with the math homework. Katsuki frowned, opening his mouth to complain about the fact that it was like already 8 p.m. or something, and Kaminari's dumbass definitely should have finished that hours ago. But Kaminari just beamed and gave him his cheek a little light smack. You're not allowed to say no, dude. Damn it. Okay, so this chapter went exactly how I thought it was going to go. Very interesting. I will say I do like the author's writing style. I just like it. It's neat. Cried 4 times today at school because today was my last day and I am a senior. So that was interesting considering 90% of my friend group are lower classmen. That was a very emotional day for me. Make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds, and have a wonderful day or night. And thank you for watching.